You got 2 minutes? That's what I'm talking about. So what we out here try to do is to let our people know who we are. What's our God-given nationality? Because we're not, black men. We're not Afro-American, African-American, none of these bywords that these nations put upon us. We would be Israelites according to the Bible. Have you heard that before? You know about the Israelites? What you know about them? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to, dialogue and see what you know already. I don't want to double down and you only got 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Right. Okay. So do you identify yourself as such? Right. All right. So with that being said, do you know what you have to do? Because I just said that right before you walked up. I guess that was the spirit. Just knowing is half of the battle. We got to put forth works. You know what I'm saying? So we could be considered just and righteous before our God. So let's bring that out. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse number 12.
Bring it out.
And now, Israel, what do the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord, and his statutes which I command thee this day, for thy good.
Right. So it say we got to return to the Lord and keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Do you know any? And it says love him with all your heart. So do you know how to love the Lord? Let me ask you that. How do you love the Lord? Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to show praise to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks to him in all things. But I'm going to show you what the Bible say. Bring it up.
It's the book of 2 John, chapter 1 and verse 6. No. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that as ye have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it.
So that's how you love the Lord. You got to keep his commandments. And like I said, this is in 2 John. This towards the very end of the book, but it's saying that you got to keep the commandments that he said from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you will love the Lord. So, do you know some commandments? Any commandments off the top of your head? Right. So that'll be like what was written on the tablet of stone. Yep. Right. But it's more than just that. It's not just 10 commandments. It's over 600. Right. So I mean, we keep over 20,000 laws of the land right here in this nation. But even if we kept the 10. Like I say, it's over 600. Even if we kept the 10, that'll be like about 2% of what God told us to do. We failed that test. You know what I'm saying? So we got to return to the Lord and see what he requires of us, right? I'm going to just give you a few commandments and then, you can go on about your way because you said you only had a little bit of time. So I'm going to bring out some that's not in that 10, right? All right. What you got? Go ahead. The book, start from the top.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse number 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel.
Right. So it says, speak unto the children of Israel. You identify as Israelite, right? So it's talking to you. Go ahead.
Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Right. So this Leviticus 11 is going into our dietary laws, right? So jump down to 7 real quick.
Verse 7. And the swine.
Right. What swine? Right. All right.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcass shall you not touch. They are unclean to you.
Right. So the pork is unclean to us. So do you eat pork, brother? All praise to the Most High. So I'm bringing that out because it's all the way from the top to the bottom. It's talking about things that we shall not partake in. But I'm bringing out the ones that our people more so transgress the Lord by eating, So pork will be one of them. Let's get the next one real quick.
Verse 9. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters.
Bring it out.
Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, and in the seas and in the rivers, them shall you eat.
Right, so we only supposed to partake in what have fins and scales. It's a bunch of stuff in the water, and it's even more such that they claim is a delicacy in this world. You know that like if you go to any seafood restaurant, it's so much stuff that we're not supposed to eat, right? Well, keep going.
And all that have not fins, Slakia, verse 11, they shall even be an abomination unto you.
10.
Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
Right. So it say of anything that moveth, any living thing that's in the waters, if it doesn't have fins and scales, we can't deal with it. So we can't have crawfish, shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, the sea moss. You know, that's a living, organism that's in the water. Can't partake in that. Seaweed. Some people eat seaweed. Like anything that's in the water that does not have fins and scales, we will be sinning if we eat that and indulge in that. Right. So I don't know if you deal with any of that or any of my brothers and sisters right here, if y'all deal with that, but if that's the case, got to put that away. That's for the Most High God. That's one of His commandments. Like I was telling him, that's not listening at 10, right? So I'm gonna get another one real quick.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 11. Bring it up. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
Right. So lying is a sin. You know what I'm saying? And then it says not to deal falsely one with another. You know, we're not supposed to try to finesse, swindle, or get over on our people. Right. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with them righteous. But lying, like I said, that's one that's not listening in the 10. And our people, we bad with that. You know what I'm saying? But give me what you said, 27? Go ahead.
Verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shall thou moor the corners of thy beard.
Right. So we're not supposed to shave our head bald, you know what I'm saying, or cut our beard. We're supposed to maintain what we can grow. That's a commandment of the Lord. And there's one more after that. Go ahead.
Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
So that would go into tattoos. And you see, I got some on me, but I repented for that, right. You know. So any transgressions that we might have transgressed the Lord with, we ought to repent and turn back to the Lord. Right. You know what I'm saying? So just one more commandment, brother, and you got it. All right, yeah, Numbers 15.
Shit, I had it. The book of Numbers, chapter 15, and verse number 38. Bring it out. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
Right. So it say make them fringes in the borders of their garments. So the majority of the brothers out here that you'll see, that's what these is. Fringes in the borders of your garments. But it's about to explain what it's for, right?
And that they put upon the fringe a border of ribbon of blue.
Right. You see everybody got some type of derivative of blue on their fringes, right? Go ahead.
And it shall be for you a fringe that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
Right. So it's like a visual aid for us. If there's anything, like I just brought out the seafood. If there's anything like we go into a seafood papados or something like that, and you like, damn, that lobster look real good, and I want the butter with it, you know? And, you know, the biscuit on the side. But you look down, you see your friends, it's like, oh, man, I ain't supposed to partake in that. It's like a visual aid or reminder so you don't go off or go astray from the Lord, right? So, was that? Yeah, that was it on that. So, matter of thighs, you got a flyer for him? All right. So, how about y'all? Y'all got a few more moments? Y'all know who y'all are or y'all God-given nationality? Sister, brother? Oh, for real? Oh, yeah, I see that. Hey, your name Zion? That's what's up right there. That's what's up right there. That's real biblical. You know what I'm saying? So, but do y'all know who y'all are? Y'all God-given that? Who are y'all, brother? Hebrew? That's what I'm talking about. Right. So the brother I was just dealing with it, he said the same thing, like he was dealing with it. He already know, like I said, that's just half of the battle. The Lord requires us to do certain things, you know, basically to obey him you know, to love him with all our heart and keep his commandments. So I was bringing out a few commandments. You heard me when I was dealing with bro, right? All right. So I can get some more. Do y'all got some questions or what? All right. It's all good. Appreciate it. You said what? Yeah, we got the Instagram, the YouTube on there, the email address. Y'all want to shoot us any questions or whatever? What's going on? Huh? What's that? The meaning of the stick. Oh, it's a staff. It's like a staff. Say Genesis 49. I think it's like what, 7?
Or 10 or so. Huh?
6 and 8.
Matthew 6 and 8.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
Verse.
I know it's one and
Yeah, no, that's going
to
Yeah, get this.
Oh, the
Oh, it dipped out? Oh, well.
Mark 6 and 8. It's all good. Kush anyway.
All right.
what the hell you asked for?
Them, I know, right? We about to go into the when thou prayest. Yeah, con. So Shalom, brothers.
Shalom.
Give me give me give me Sirach 2. Just start from the top.
Sirach 2.
Yeah.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse number 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. We got to prepare our soul for temptation, you know, because we're going to be tried in this walk. It's not going to be easy, you know. It says, what's that, Hebrews 12, you know that the Lord is dealing with you when you're facing chastisement, right? So we're going to end up having maybe a few stumbling blocks, maybe a few slip-ups in this walk, but we got to, keep getting up, keep trying. Matter of fact, give me that, what's that, Proverbs 16?
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make no haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away.
Right, we got to cleave unto him. Because give me, hold that, and give me Sirach 25 and 12.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse number 12. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
Right, so we know that we got to keep faith and works of the Most High, which would be keeping the commandments, but it just said faith is the beginning of cleaving to him. You know what I'm saying? So we got to cleave to the Lord through our faith and our works. You know what I'm saying? So give me that. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
This
is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
Right, a just man falleth 7 times but rise up again. That's what we got to do. You know, what was that? Was it Leah? Dust yourself off and try again. That's what we got to do.
Right,
and make haste to come back to the Lord, right? Go back to that Sirach 2, wherever you left off.
Verse number 3. And cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Right, at our last end. We're supposed to endure to the end. What's that? Matthew 24 and 13. Right? Are you about to grab it? Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved.
Right, so we got to endure to the end. That's that last end that is going into right there in the book of Sirach, right? So keep going where you left off, King.
Verse number 4. Whatsoever is brought up on thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Right, we got to take it cheerfully. We can't be like, dang, Lord, why me? Or why am I going through these things? I've been trying so hard, You know what I'm saying? But it just seemed like I just can't get right. No, we're supposed to take this stuff cheerfully, but we know that the Lord is dealing with us. Like I said, pursuant to Hebrews 12. Go ahead.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right, acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Every time I hear that, I think about the song of the three holy children, or what? No, the three holy children, or what's that in it's that Daniel 3, right? Go ahead.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahweh, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall.
Right, and it said, "Ye that fear Yahweh, wait for His mercy," because like it's you gotta have the fear of Him to end up attaining His mercy. Right. I take one of those. What? Yeah, you gotta have the fear of the Lord to end up getting His mercy. His mercy is to His saints that have the fear of the Lord, that love Him and obey Him. You know. Go ahead.
Ye that fear Yahweh, believe him, and your reward shall not fail.
Right.
Ye that fear Yahweh, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy.
Right.
Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh, and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear, and was forsaken?
Right, because like I said, like I once said before, when it comes down to Hebrew 11 and you see the faith of all these righteous, just forefathers that we had that had the faith in the Lord and, had their trust fully in Him, none of them was confounded or none of them were forsaken. He took care of every last one of them, right? And what was me? It's in Ecclesiastes 2 and 10, right? Uh, I think it's Deuteronomy 32 and
What's that?
7. Huh? Allah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Right. So we gotta look at the generations of old. You know what I'm saying? Look to our elders, our righteous forefathers. Is in every book there's a account that's gonna show you, that some faith unmatched with us of this world right now. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had just an ounce of the faith of our forefathers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a moment for the word? Come over here and dialogue. Talk with us. Let's talk about it.
She said it's my birthday.
This would be some good news to get on your birthday, right? Why not get some understanding on your birthday? What's going on, bro? You got a moment for the word? All right, I respect that. You're an Israelite. You got to repent in these last days and keep the commandments. This fell up out the.
Oh, you got it. I was gonna try to put this.
All right. So you said it was your birthday. So you ought to hear and learn who you are, who both of y'all sisters are. What would y'all identify as, like ethnicity wise? You too? Same. So what would your father be? Right. So give me numbers 1 and 18. So what we out here to do is show our people who we will be according to the Bible. Right? You don't find black, you don't find African American or none of that in there. But we know that all these people, like all these judgments, all these you got it? Let me get this real quick.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18.
Bring it up.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
Right, so it says that they declared the pedigrees of the people by the house of their father, right? That's why I asked you that. So If your father was, I don't know, a white man, you know what I'm saying, even though you might be of color, you would be considered a white person, you know what I'm saying, or vice versa. So, yeah, so you would be, so let me ask you this, since y'all consider yourself to be black, that means that y'all would potentially be from the tribe of Judah. It's something very, distinct about the tribe of Judah. Give me that Hebrews 7:14. Because did you know, the tribe that Christ came from, right? Got it?
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 14.
Bring it up.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Right. So Christ sprang out of Judah. He wouldn't be that, like, if you was to Google him right now, he not going to look nothing like what it's saying in the Bible. Because they done, pretty much, whitewashed everything during the Renaissance period. Yeah, iconoclasm, covering the faces of the judges thereof, all that. So that should, in a sense, get y'all to like identify. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only was our Savior, but the Most High God was as well. It's a description of him in there. The angels, even the angels were of polished brass. They had, brown. Like, I'll just get into it real quick. Give me that Daniel 7 and I think it's 6. Salaki.
What you looking for?
What's the angels?
Nah, the Most High.
7 and 9.
7 and 9.
Good.
And
It's
then
the book of Daniel.
Then give me 10 and
6.
4.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9.
Bring it up.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Right, and it said, and the Ancient of Days did sit. The Ancient of Days will be the Most High God, because he defies time. He is before everything, the creator of all things, right? So that's who it's talking about. Go ahead.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame.
Right, it says his hair on his head was like wool. What race of people out here got woolly hair? Right? And then Christ was made in the image of the Most High God. Give me that in Revelation real quick. Bring this out. This account right here is talking about an angel. Go ahead.
The book of Daniel, chapter 10 and verse number 4.
Yeah.
And in the 4th and 20th day of the first month, as I was assigned by the great river, which is Hadakel, then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen.
Right. So this is Daniel having a vision, right? Go ahead.
Whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Right. So, I mean, that's showing you, like, your legs, his arms and his feet, his whole body of the color of brass, right? And the same thing with our Savior. Like we said, like I already brought that home, showing you that he come out of Judah. But one more. Get this.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
Right. It says his feet is like unto fine brass, as if it burned in the furnace. Sister feet, I'm sure your feet the same color as the rest of you, right? And then it says as if it burned in the furnace, like I said, so he'll be dark. You know what I'm saying? Dark skinned man. So that's what we trying to just break down the strongholds that they done told us about the Bible and show our people who we are. And we're trying to let y'all know that y'all will be Israelites according to the Bible, right? How will we know? Because it said it would be blessings and curses on us as a people for us to be able to tell. I run it down just real quick. I know y'all on y'all way, y'all, trying to get somewhere. Give me Deuteronomy 28:45. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Well, give verse 1.
All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number 1.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. It said if we would just listen to the Lord and do what he said, then the Lord will set us on high above all nations of the earth. But how are we living? Are we set up on high? So apparently we ain't been listening. Give me that Daniel 9 and 10. And then after that, go to 45.
Gotcha.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God.
Right, that's talking about us in Israel. We haven't obeyed, right? Go ahead.
To walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets.
Right. So we haven't walked after the ways, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. So it's got to be a flip side to that coin. And that's why we living in the state that we in now, right? So I'm going to show you real quick. Bring that up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 45.
Bring it out.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee.
Right. So curses already, you already know it's a bad thing. He said he'll bless us and set us on high above all the nations. But since we haven't listened, now we're facing these curses, right? Go ahead.
Shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments
Right.
and his statutes which I command thee this day, and
Right.
they shall be upon thee for a sign.
Right. So it say these curses will be upon us for a sign, right? So I know that that's a Nipsey hoodie because of the sign right there. I know we right here on Main and Prairie because of the signs right here. These curses are going to be upon us as a people for a sign so we can identify who we are, right? And a sign and for what else?
And for a wonder.
Right, it say and for a wonder. So I know you wonder why we live in the conditions that we live in. Why it's not us as a majority of the nations filling up all these high rises down here, getting to the paper. Yeah, maybe a small remnant of us is, but us as a nation, we filling up the jail right there, the county, you know, in the hoods, you know what I'm saying, whether it be 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, Homestead, South Park, whatever it is, our people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Go ahead. So for a wonder and for what else?
And upon our seed forever.
And upon our seed forever. So this was, Moses wrote this, but it said forever. And that's why we still going through this to this day, right? So keep going.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Right. So it says, because we didn't listen, now we got to serve our enemy for want of all things. So that's Frank's. All right. So that's the last thing y'all ate. So do our people own Frank's? All right. But our people own Taste Bar, right? But where do they get their supplies from? They still got to go to their enemy to get their supplies to be able to run their business, right? And then the same thing for the drinks and the same thing for the clothing. Like that's Nipsey clothing line, but I'm pretty sure as people they got to branch out to go get they supplies, maybe Alibaba, a spot like Harwin, or something like that. They got to go to the other nations. What's up?
Nipsey Hussle was Ethiopia.
Right. But in the same sense, yeah.
In the same sense, yeah.
But anyway, so you would have to be subject to your oppressor and want of all things, right? Go ahead, pick up from there.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right, and it say he should put a yoke of iron upon our neck until he has destroyed us. That's pretty plain. You know that happened in slavery. Where it said it's up. Oh, it's real blurry, but we got a picture. He got the yoke of iron upon his neck and all shackled up, right? That's how they destroyed us by way of slavery. Give me that Hosea 4:6.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Right? Because so now that they done did that, now we're destroyed mentally, right? So go ahead.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Right. So it says we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? They destroyed us in this way first, and then they stripped us of our God. They stripped us of our Bible. They took all these different chapters and things up out of the book, and then now we don't know who we are. We discontinue from our heritage, you know. That's why we call ourselves black. That's why, you know, we don't know exactly what our culture is. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably think that it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't it. Our culture is in this Bible. This is our history book right here, right? So, what was you at?
49.
All right. So, give me 54. So let me ask y'all a question. Y'all both of y'all grew up with both parents in the household. Neither one of y'all, huh? All right, go ahead.
Verse 54.
Bring it out.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
Right. So us having that evil eye towards our brothers, that'll be a curse, right? That's all we rap about. All we rap about is disrespecting and killing each other. On top of the gang violence, you know, BD, GD, blood, crip, whatever it may be, you know. And then what else?
And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right. So it says, and toward the wife of his bosom. So that'll be that, you know, domestic violence, mistreating our women, not esteeming them as the queens that they should be treated as. Right. And then it says, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. That's that single parent household, right? So we might look at it carnally and be like, oh, well, now my people, they split up because it was money problems or infidelity or something like that. But no, that's a curse that's on our people, that we would have those single parent households or the father would be absent, right? And then give me 66.
Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
So who that sound like as a people? Our life shall hang in doubt, and we shall have no assurance of our life. That's us. We the only people that's still out here fighting for rights. You know, we don't know if the cops gonna get us, if our own people gonna get us, you know, if a white man gonna get us, whatever the case may be. Everybody got it out for us, and it seemed like we can't get from under all these other nations' thumb, right? And then give me 68. This will be the last curse. Like from 28 and 15 all the way down to 68 is nothing but curses. I'm just trying to give you a few, right? Go ahead.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right, so it's saying, and the Lord shall bring us into Egypt again. But it's not talking about the physical landmass of Egypt. Let me show you what it's talking about real quick.
I got it.
I got it.
Damn, boy.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Right, so it's making Egypt being synonymous with a house of bondage. It says it at least 10 times over in the Bible, not just that one verse. So it's going to further explain itself. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into bondage again.
Right, so, all right. Let me ask you this real quick. How did our people get to America? You say we flew? Got brought over here, how? Yeah, but did we walk? Right, all right. Bring it back up.
And the Lord shall bring thee into bondage again with ships.
Right, it says he should bring us into bondage with ships, right? Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right, because he told us before we wasn't going to see the physical landmass of Egypt again. That's why I was saying it's not talking about the landmass of Egypt. It's making it like a house of bondage, right? Go ahead.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
Right, what happened when we got here? We were sold into our enemies. What were we sold for? Go ahead.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave men and slave women, right? And what else?
And no man shall buy you.
Right, and it says no person shall buy you. So we know that they bought us, but that buy is going into redemption. We have many people that tried to get us up out of bondage, whether it's Nat Turner with his slave revolts, the Black Panther Party, that NFAC, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these people that they just start talking about with Black History Month, you know, something popping up on your social media every day with a fun fact about somebody. But all these people have tried but they couldn't because it's going to be by way of the Most High God that's going to bring us up out of this, right? So, with that being said, do you feel like, what do you identify as? You still a black woman? Nah, what are you? She said Judah. That's what I'm talking about. Judah and what?
Judah and Aztec.
Aztec?
And Judah.
Okay. Well, that's so. You got a double portion. That's what I'm talking about. But no. So as Israelites, let me go here. As Israelites, it's something that's required of us. It was already pretty much written, or read. Give me that Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Help me out, God.
Yeah, because like I said, like this some good knowledge that you would get on your day, huh? But it's like we know who we are. Now we know that this is our history book, that this book actually pertains to us, right? Because they're not teaching that in the church, but it's something that's required of us for our salvation. So here you go. Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13.
Bring it up.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Right. So that's the whole duty of man. We got to fear God and keep his commandments, right?
Yes.
Read the last one.
For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Right. So you got to pick which side of the line you want to be on. Are you going to come back to the Lord and do what he requires of you, or you going to keep walking after your own ways? Because his mercy, bring that out again. Give me that Sirach 16 and like 13. Because I know a lot of people would say the Lord is all merciful, but
11.
here you go. Is that 11? 13.
Sirach 16 and verse 13.
Bring it up.
The sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated.
Nah, one up then.
Verse 12. And as his mercy is great, so is his correction also.
Right, so just as much as his mercy is great, so is his correction also. So yeah, we in the time of grace. We got this time and this period to try to get it right, but it's the same thing. Like my brother be saying, this the analogy he bring out, If you can't pay the phone bill, right? And then you call them, you hit up, Sprint, T-Mobile, whoever, Verizon, be like, look, I need some time to pay my bill. So they might give you 2 weeks or something like that. And that's that grace period. But if you don't pay it by that date, the phone getting cut off, and that's a wrap, right? It's the same thing with this. This grace period is time for us to get it right, come back to the Lord, or else we're going to have a destruction that's going to be our end. You know what I'm saying? So, do y'all know any commandments? No? All right, so.
She said, "Kinda." She said she know him.
She said 2? What it was? I'm hard of hearing. All right. So, let me ask you this. I don't want to be all in your business, but what's on your piece? Pepperoni? All right, you know where to go.
I got it. The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though it divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet it cheweth not the clod. He is unclean to you.
Right. So the swine is unclean to you. That'll be the pig. Pork, we can't partake in pork. That'll be a sin to the Most High. Right? Go ahead, go to 9.
Verse 9. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, and in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
Right. So the only thing that we can eat that's in the waters will have to have fins and scales. So with that being said, what can we eat? You say what? Yeah, you can. Yeah. Give me what's that? Deuteronomy 14. Right now, but that's in the waters. Now, right, but all we can eat that's in the water will have fins and scales. So what's in the water that we can't eat? Right? Right. So, all right, let me get to it. Because I feel like you might be partaking in some of these things. So, all right, so shrimp, crab, lobster, crawfish, oysters, yeah, scallops. What else? Help me out. Sea moss. You said clams. Clams. Yeah, mussels, like everything. Anything that's in the water that move or that's living, if it don't have fins or scales, we can't eat it, right? So catfish, can't eat catfish. It don't have scales, right? All right, can y'all do that for the Lord? You could try. I can respect that. You got no, yeah. Give me Deuteronomy 14.
I got, oh, what 14 or what?
I think it's like 3.
Deuteronomy 14 and verse 3. Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Hold up, let me see.
What you looking for?
Yeah, that's it. Start from there.
Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the parg, and the wild ox, and the chamios, and
all right. Well, my bad, but they get the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things that you can eat, and then either this chapter, Deuteronomy 14, or in Leviticus 11, you will see everything that you can and you can't eat, right? And then all the commandments of the Lord are found within the first 5 books of the Bible, because it's not just 10; it's over 600 something, right? So, what else you got? Give me Deuteronomy.
2025.
Come on, give me that.
I got you. The book of Deuteronomy,
and
chapter
me,
22 and verse number 5.
Leviticus 19 and
the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Right. So it say the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman garment. So if I can't, be out here with like a dress or a skirt, what can women wear? That what is it that women can't wear? Like when you go to the restroom, and I know they changing things up nowadays, but when you go to the restroom and you look, it'll have like, how do you identify a man and a woman's restroom? Like what do they have on? Oh, for the man, yeah. So I'm guessing it's like a suit or something like that, but he'll have like pants. So our women are not supposed to be wearing pants or anything like that. We are the women are to be like modest, modest apparel. Give me that. 1 Timothy 2 and 9.
I got you.
Sleep over there, boy.
I got you. The book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel,
right,
with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold.
That's it on that. So when it come down to the apparel, it's a modest apparel. So modesty would be not, showing your curves and all that, showing your figure, because you gotta save some, like a woman is supposed to be covered up, basically. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be to the full extent of how you'll see the Muslim woman with the whole veil and all that, but all women should be covered up, right? Says you got a precept, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman should not.
We just you paying attention over here? All right, so give me Leviticus 19 and 15.
Where you going? We got one more.
You got that?
I got it, 19 and 15.
Let them read it. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 15. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Right.
Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Right. So we commanded to love one another. We can't hate our brothers in our heart, or our people. Period. It say brother, but our people. Period. As well as we are not supposed to hold a grudge against them. Right. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Right. So that's what we out here doing. We out here, showing our people how they transgressing or whatnot, and then trying to, basically get them that correction so they can come back to the Lord. Because that's basically what I was telling you with the blessings and the curses. We're in this situation because we are not doing what the Lord says. So for us to come back to the Lord and for him to put us above all people, we'll have to come back, not individually, but us as a nation of people, right? All right, so he gave you the flyer. I hope y'all keep, checking in or, lock in with us or whatnot. And all right, bet. And then like I said, get in them first 5 books, see the commandments that we ought to keep, right? All right. Saturday. That's they got it on the flyer. All right, hold on real quick, man. Hey, y'all sisters got a moment for the word? For the Bible?
Come here real quick.
Come on, come on.
Come on, sis. Come, you come with her. You come with her. You come with her.
Come on. 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
We just all right. So we just trying to show our people who we are.
Tell them. They said.
Hey, what happened? I thought you was coming back.
Come on,
Hey, they frauded. They lied to their brothers.
She said, I got too many mimosas.
Wow.
All right, man.
I got too many.
That boy's a whore already. He already called it.
I got too many mimosas.
That's what they said. But what was I at? I forgot.
Me too.
I know, right? Give me Sirach 1 and I think like verse 8. Let me see it first. Let's see where I want to start. Start at 5.
Oh, my bad.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
The word of God Most High is the foretained of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. To whom had the root of the wisdom been revealed?
Right, so who have the root of the wisdom of the Lord been revealed to? Right? A lot of people would feel like that they got wisdom because they, cracked open the textbook. They went to school. They got those degrees, all that type of stuff, right? But true wisdom is of the Lord. Oh, he already asked me. Go ahead.
Or who had known her wise counsels?
Right, who have known the wise counsels of the Lord. So it's about to explain that to you. Who has the wisdom of the Lord, or who is he gonna basically peel those scales up off their eyes so they can be able to see, right? Go ahead.
Unto whom had the knowledge of wisdom been manifest, and whom had understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared.
Right, there is one wise and greatly to be feared. Like we might feel, as men or carnal individuals that we have the wisdom, right? But there's only one wise, and all our wisdom will have to come from him, right? It can't come from anything that we done, learned on our own, right? So is that it on that verse?
There is one wise and greatly to be feared. The Lord sitteth upon his throne. He created her and saw her and numbered her and poured her out upon all his works.
Right. And, the her that it's referring to, of course, would be wisdom. Wisdom is likened unto a woman in the Bible. And he said he have poured the wisdom out upon all his works, right? But like I said, we got to get the wisdom of the Lord within the parameters of the book. Not what Pastor taught us, you know, not what your grandma brought you up saying, you know what I'm saying, when she had you on your lap, you know, reading you a few scriptures or whatnot. It's got to be what it actually say according to the Bible, right? So give me that. Oh, it's one more? Go ahead.
She is with all flesh according to his gift, and he had given her to them that love him.
Right, and he have given her to them that love him. And we know that to love the Father, or even to love Yahweh Shah, Christ, you know, it would be to keep their commandments, right?
That's right.
So that's who is getting the wisdom. That's the beginning of wisdom, right? Give me that Psalm 111 and 10. Oh, give me that real quick.
I think he wanna. The book,
Con. Yeah, I'll run about to handle it.
the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse number 4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in a body that is subject unto sin.
Right. So if we subject unto sin, wisdom would not enter into us. And that's going into that last scripture, because it says for us to get wisdom, we would have to have the love of the Father, right? So bring that out real quick.
It's the book of Psalms,